What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It is Thursday, noon Central Time. That means it's time for dispatching live. Loadboard search advice, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, dealers, auctions. Everybody's welcome here. Executives, shippers. So let's do this. Before we get started, I just want to mention we do have a disclaimer. The views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel they have the right to do so. Perfect. Let's keep moving, shall we? Okay, so please do feel like you can jump in the live chat, say hello. Zach is here. Ty is here. Oh, we love Sue. That's right. Let's introduce Sue, and then we'll continue there. Please do help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host extraordinaire, Sue.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Well, so are you feeling better than you were about a week ago?
Better, but not all the way there. I don't know. It's something that's going around everywhere.
It is, yeah.
It's in their stomach, and it just
it lingers.
yeah,
I know. I had something for about a month after
yeah.
car conference.
Uh-huh.
And I know different people that have different variations of this journey.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
If you're not feeling well out there, we understand. We hope you feel better. And it'd be tough to be on the road to feel like this.
Yeah,
When
I
you got
can't
kind
even
of
imagine.
kind of a cough.
Yeah.
I thought I had a little bit of that COVID brain fog.
Yeah.
And that kind of concerned me because I took a few COVID tests. I didn't have it.
Well, that's good.
I just took I had brain fog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, brain fog,
Just normal brain
coughing,
fog.
and then sinus crap, right?
Yes.
Sneezing.
Non-stop drainage. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's this freaking allergy season we got going on again.
So, I'm glad we got that out of the way. That's really important automotive industry stuff.
Yeah.
So, please do jump in the Vance is here with us.
Hey,
And
Vance.
Mark Grodecki's here. That's awesome.
Hey,
You
Mark.
need to record the disclaimer if you need a disclosing. Yeah, exactly. Well, I like to read it. That way it's live, it's real, it's happening, and I get another swing at the good. I love legal talk. I love it. Actually, I had a comment earlier this morning. The question was regarding trucker drug testing.
Uh-huh.
The terms, whether knowledge of use was part of the terms of legal consequence. And as I commented, as it would turn out, unfortunately, ignorance of the law is not a defense. Did you know that?
No.
If you get pulled over by a cop and he says, "Did you know you were speeding?" and you said, "No, I have no idea," he says, "Well, it doesn't really matter."
Ah.
You were. And so it's just detection of use or violation is
Yeah.
the legal standard, not whether you knew it or not.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So, when you say that's not mine, they go, that's pretty irrelevant, really. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back. And this gets into the cannabis and the CBD. And, there's been a lot of the clearinghouse. And I've said this from the beginning. Not that, that's irrelevant. But that the ELD and the clearinghouse does not care what you think you were doing. It doesn't care. Not that I have to explain that to anybody, but like I had a guy comment. He said he got tapped. The drug test tapped him for use of methamphetamine. And his words were, "I've never done methamphetamine. Not sure how that happened." And I'm saying, well, at this point, wow. I mean, that's going to be. I don't know what you do. Anyways, okay, that was weird. So Vance is here, Mark is here, Ty is here. I think Ty is still in California.
Is he?
I think so. At Finished Vehicle Logistics. He comes back later today. We had a great show yesterday. I was going to share the link. You got to see this. If anybody still wonders what we're doing at trade shows, you skip ahead to, I'll say, FVL show, and I put the link in the live chat. And Ty catches up with this guy named Rod Hamill of Hamill Logistics, and they had a great conversation out on the I don't know if it was the pool or what it was, outside at the hotel in Huntington Beach. And Rod works. He's a small mid-sized carrier, and he showed up to Finished Vehicle Logistics to try to grow his business. So we had a live conversation on ATI at Finished Vehicle Logistics, and it was one of those carrier conversations you don't really see anywhere else, because usually the focus is on executives, EVs, tech, rather than, hey, let's talk to a carrier, right? And he has been watching ATI for years. Shout out to Rod. Yeah, it was amazing. It was just neat to see real community.
Yeah.
Organic. I mean, none of that was planned. You'd think we'd have planned the darn thing. I should have had me call his agent. Okay. So what are we doing? Now that I got all that stuff out of the way. Seems like you had something to say this morning, Jay. What's going on the load boards?
Let's see. Right now, this week, we are at 37,069. The last time we did the show, we were at 34,000. So it's creeping up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes it any better.
Right, because that's what I always ask next. Even though volume is up,
Yeah.
is anything any better?
I mean, I've had some better rates this week, and I've had several packs, which have been fantastic. But I mean, I don't think that's the norm. I think I
You
just
know,
got lucky.
you know what? Well, you know what you could infer is that since loads aren't paying enough,
Mm-hmm.
and there's more of them sitting and
Mm-hmm.
being added because they're not paying enough. Because
Then
we
that's it.
all
Yeah.
know, everybody goes to their Rolodex first, right?
To see.
I mean, whether it's one guy, five guys, or a stack of business cards, if you have a load you need moved, you go to your preferred list first.
True.
Hey, Billy, can you get this? No. Okay. Hey, Robbie, can you get this? No. Hey, Johnny, no? Okay, well, then I'm going to post it up on the, leftover buffet.
Well, I will say anything that I've been listing for since last week, this week, as soon as it gets listed, it's almost gone immediately. It's crazy.
The stuff you're listing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and why would that be? What do you think are the main criteria of why your loads are moving quickly?
Probably because I'm paying more than most people on the
Say,
board.
I didn't even get the thing done. Exactly. Because you're paying more. Because
Yeah.
why are carriers in business?
There you go. They're getting screwed.
Yeah. Oh. They're paying the ELD and clearinghouse. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a special guest today. And by the way, thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping in, saying hello, checking us out. Just put it on automatic. We'll be live for another hour. It's dispatching live. Tuesdays are we have featured shows and guests, and we have something we're trying to talk about. And Tuesday night it was, if you're trying to create a relationship with a dealer, here's some ideas of how to understand your customer, right? Because
Right.
if you're going to try to get business out of somebody, you better darn well understand them a little bit, right?
One can only hope, yes.
I mean, whatever it is. Look at the azaleas before you knock on the door and then say, man, those are great azaleas,
So
right?
I've got a funny story.
Oh, tell it. I want to hear it.
So this just happened a little bit ago. This lady called me or called the office and said that we had charged her credit card for $11, and she didn't know what was going on, and it's like a running balance. And I'm like, I didn't charge anybody. There's no way for me to do that. And then so we asked her to send us the picture of the receipt. Okay, wait for it. You ready? It says Murphy USA. What does that mean to you? Gas company. So someone purchased fuel and she thought it was me. How? She just looked up Murphy Auto on the internet and called me.
What?
Not a brainiac, okay?
What?
For sure, yes. Because it said Murphy USA
But
and it says quite clearly fuel, But she looks up Murphy Auto and
but
calls me and says I charged her credit card
I
$11.
can't help but think you must have great SEO ranking, though.
I
I
guess
mean, wow, of all the Murphys in the world,
so.
wow,
That's true. You're right about
right?
that.
How did you get in there?
I don't know, but
But
I have had people say that, and I don't even do anything.
she's like, I already called Murphy flatbread. I tried Murphy tires. I even called Murphy's wonderful hummus.
I'm like, we're
Crazy.
sorry, but you need to call your bank. I think someone's stolen your number and charged
Yeah.
gas in different places.
Well, that is $11. Is
Yeah.
that's that tester money before
That's
they
the tester
start
money,
buying
right?
Gucci bags and
Yeah.
by the dozen.
Yep.
Hey, Chris Chamberlain says hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Chris says, I literally have an ATI notebook. Don't forget the ATI Wayback Machine of previous shows and information. I do remember the ATI Wayback Machine stuff. And in fact, Rod brought up during the show yesterday dispatching by the pool.
Yes, I
Do you
remember
know
that
that
one. I saw that one. I was like, I wish.
Oh my God. I think that was summer 2017.
hmm
Oh my gosh. That was like, yeah. I think that was my first summer of videos. I was literally still dispatching at that time. Oh, it's so funny. God. Well, and that's what's cool is that, yeah, we're now moving into, right, what about Murphy's Law? Yeah, there's a Murphy Legal on LinkedIn. Which I'll just give a shout out, Murphy Legal. The one thing about Murphy Legal that I don't understand is they put a lot of photos, just random stuff.
hmm
Like, hi, we're having watermelon at the park. Call Murphy Legal. Like, what they should do is incorporate ridiculous legal problems, like choking on a watermelon. Call Murphy Legal.
There you go.
Right?
Yes,
That would work.
right.
That would work. All right. Like I said, Ross Quinn from Super Dispatch is going to join us today, and so we got Super Loadboard pulled up. Is there
Yep.
anything you wanna that you
Well, I've got
wanna?
out of Mount
Te-
Juliet because I've got a driver that's coming through there, so I kind of put that up to see
Oh,
what
okay,
might be
cool.
there. And I don't know if anybody else noticed, but the auction was yesterday, and Vance will attest to this as well. Not much came out of Mount Juliet yesterday, which is crazy. So it may be showing up today. We'll
Okay,
see.
that's interesting because the numbers that we talk about when hey, what's up, Super Mac and Doug is here. Doug made the news. Is that when we look at the volume, new and used vehicle inventory and demand and pricing, etc., is that I think there are less, isn't volume of sales down at the auction, which would match what the auction
That's
happened, but you didn't see
possible.
as much. I think that's what's going on.
Um,
And this gets into retail and wholesale, and believe us, me. I mean, as a previous dispatcher and a media guy, I have to learn along with everybody else. But if you watch all the slide rules in economics in automotive, you start to understand why you're seeing what you're seeing in logistics. It's kind of fascinating.
Well, I will say that I talked to my owners quite a bit and asked them, are they having a hard time finding cars? And in general, yes, but then this last 2 weeks, they've been finding cars left and right. I mean, like I said, as soon as I'm listing them, I'm getting rid of them. It's just bing, bang, boom. It's crazy. We had like 10 on there, they were gone. We reloaded them
Well,
back up at 10 and they were gone. I
and
think I'm
that
at 9 right now.
okay, and that shows you again, it's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah, it
And
is.
how
That is
many
true.
companies are posting loads that really they are lowballing?
Right,
It's a lot.
right.
This is the problem.
It,
And
it
this
is
is
it's a major problem.
it is a
And
major problem. And we talk about it again on this channel. And that is that, I mean, I realize lowballing has paid for your buildings and your jets. I get that. And this is this is capitalism and all that great stuff.
yeah,
But if you lowball it as just a default standard,
Right.
number one, everyone becomes, they know you as another lowballer.
Right.
And number two, how's your customer feel when they're like,
Where's my car?
You hadn't even picked up yet?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I met with you 2 weeks ago. We ate prime rib, and then we skied, and we saw Springsteen, and everything was great.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, none of these cars have been picked up? What are you guys doing over there? And then 6 months later, that guy realizes, oh, well, yeah, that was 2 lowballers ago. I got a new lowballer now. Yeah, I go from lowballer to lowballer to lowballer. Because those are the big companies. All right, I'll settle down. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to take the screen, and we're going to do some industry news. And if I'm wrong about that, just put it in the live chat. Don't be the lowballer, and then we won't have a problem. All right, disclaimer is gone. Let's see. Oh, this is more Super Loadboard. We're going to have some Super Loadboard talk today. Do you know about Lucky Load? Dude, they're giving away money on Super Loadboard, $1,000 a month to the lucky winner. Do you know this?
I'm waiting to win it.
Yeah, you're waiting. I know.
I'm waiting to win it.
I want to win this. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back into dispatching.
I haven't been that lucky yet.
I put it in so I put a link in the live chat. If you want to win the lucky load, you can click that link. Win the lucky load. And also, this is a great time to share this link. Sign up with Super Dispatch. There is now a page where you'll see ATI Super Dispatch and whether you're a carrier or broker. Because if you're a broker, you need to be posting on Super. And if you're a carrier, you need to be searching on Super. Don't forget, you got to be a verified carrier and be using SuperPay to win the lucky load. Okay?
Yes.
All right. And if you wonder, well, I don't want to be alone up there. Well, you're not. There's a ton of volume now moving on Super Dispatch. So, any questions about that? We got Super Dispatch folks in the live chat. Win some swag. Okay, how do you win swag? All right, it is social@superdispatch.com. Email social@superdispatch.com, and you can win swag. If you're listening on the podcast, all these things apply, and you can still get things done and enjoy the podcast and get signed up with Super Dispatch. All right, let's show the truck. Doug sent in, if you want to send in your truck, send in the news. You send in anything. Send it to autotransportintel@gmail.com. Go ahead and send in your news and become part of the news. Here we go. Here's Doug's picks. I really like this. Great photo, Doug. And I left it on there. He's got the apportioned plates. So for anybody getting in that wants to know, right, there's your apportioned plates on your Ram dually with your trailer setup. Let's look at it from the side. There we go. There's the 3-car wedge. Looking pretty good.
Wait.
And I'm sure Doug knows if he unloads position 3 and 2, is he going to move number 1?
Yes. I think
That's correct. He is going to move that top truck over an axle so that he doesn't have the flip of the week. And he knows that. And we're saying this, don't be the next flip of the week. They're happening too often. I got some videos here or something. What? No? And Doug says this. Here's his quote. There is no growth in the comfort zone. It's good stuff, Doug. Thank you very much. Hey, did you get the memo? Got some memos here. We keep talking about accounts getting hacked, and it's not going away. Another driver got Central hacked.
Yeah.
Is this an old one? Or no?
No, I think because we didn't have the show, I think we didn't discuss it. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, that was on Central.
So it still had carrier accounts are getting hacked. Now I looked up. I have Norton antivirus. We talked about antivirus,
right.
And it had some information. I'm going to read this. I thought this was interesting. Notice there's a rise in password stealers. Mm-hmm. Password stealers are a type of malware that you can inadvertently install on your computer. See, you didn't mean to, Trojan horse, but you did.
Yeah.
They often come from infected downloads and emails. Let's read that again.
Yeah.
It comes from infected downloads and emails to steal your sensitive information like passwords and logins.
Yes.
How do they work? They steal info such as usernames and passwords, which are stored on your device. The gathered data is often used to steal identities and make fraudulent purchases. Since the end of 2021, they've noticed a 50% increase in global password stealer malware. Don't download anything that you don't know what it is. Check the email address. You get this long PayPal thing, and it's from like dudebot@ai.bot. No, that's not PayPal. Don't open it. Okay. Password stealers are a type of malware that aims to steal your personal info. Target passwords. Okay, so we talked about that. And here's an example of one of those dumb emails and stuff. And these are pictures of, I guess, because it puts crap in folders that you can't find. You don't know where to look. That's the problem. It's a hidden Trojan problem. And how do you avoid it? Don't click on suspicious links. I know everybody knows this. Right. It's just like nobody's the lowballer and nobody's the carrier scammer. I realize nobody is any of these things. So tell the nobody that, I don't know, that you meet on the street. Kenny has had it. Not enough money for all this BS. They're just making way for self-driving AI vehicles. Trucking is becoming a thing. That's trucker drug testing. Again, I'm telling you, it's the drug testing. They are killing the carrier base with their trucker drug testing. Now, I'm not saying, I get it, but in the name of safety, you can mow down everybody that you see in the name of safety. And what do you have left? A safe, empty parking lot. That's what you have. But hey, at least we're safe. Okay. Hey, what is Cars Arrived? No, what is Car Arrived, and how do you get set up with them?
Well, you have to be in business. Actually, I didn't think they were taking anybody new on, but Cars Arrive, you just go to carsarrive.com on the web. There's a link for signing up, and they are a broker load board.
Well,
that's the way to put it, right?
Do me a favor. I'm not trying to be prickly, but read the question.
What is Car Arrived? How do you get set up with them?
So my question is, how do you know about Car Arrived?
And then not know what it is. Good point.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Good point. Yes.
And by the way, do you think Car Arrived might want to do some outreach? I don't know. Just a question.
Yeah.
Here, this was on Hot Shot Trucking. This is great. It's a lot of question, tax, blah, blah. The guy says, ask an accountant, not a bunch of derelicts. On this Facebook page. It's really, really fun.
So he's calling all the people on Hot Shot Trucking.
Yeah, he's going, hey.
Wouldn't that be himself too?
Hey, I'm gonna quit, start doing blah blah. I'm gonna change. This is my password. This is my social. I've got 3 kids. Here are the schools they go to. Anybody help me? Can anybody help me with, like, really? What?
Yeah.
In what other industries do new business owners run to a Facebook page and ask randomly a bunch of derelicts? I mean, that is what's really, really funny here. Now, I think it actually points to something very sad. Nobody knows who to ask. Now, I realize you'll find professionals on these Facebook pages too. And in fact, I think that's why this one guy said, taxes are the least of your concerns. Which is funny. He's saying, why are you here asking this, buddy? Anyways, all right, let's keep going. Hey, Ready Logistics, here's some outreach. One dispatch has an inspection change. They're doing geotags, but if you leave your geotagged area, you're going to get an error on your mobile app. I don't know.
Basically, that's their location thing, basically, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's good, but you can't, some carriers finish their inspection later because of time. Oh, yeah. And if you try to do that, you're going to get this message. And then what do? Have to drive back to finish it?
No, I'd say you're not finishing it. But see, here's the weird part. They called one of our guys the other day and he hadn't used the app and they wanted him still to mark it picked up and delivered. And I'm like, you can't. So
Right.
it's not possible.
The guy's like, yeah, I just marked it in the sky randomly somewhere. Okay. Consider that marked.
We should talk about the horrible Tesla app too. While we're
Oh,
doing
let's
the
do it.
apps.
Okay, so I would
So
just want. Oh, talk about that because I don't know anything about this. What are we talking
So,
about?
so there's several companies out there that you pick up Tesla that want you to use the Tesla app. Just so you know, this thing is basically a tracking device for you. It's not really a use it to put your pictures on and stuff like that. It's just to track, I guess, you with their Tesla. And everybody hates it. And but there's several companies out there that say if you don't use it, it's $100, it's 20%, it's blah 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 blah. But it is very difficult to use, and like I said, it's basically for them to track the driver and their Tesla. So use Super Dispatch and it both because you can't take pictures on it.
How do you? Where do you go to get the Tesla mobile app? Do you
Well,
know?
it depends on who your broker is. They have different ones, but it's usually like if you're have a regular, not an iPhone, it's just Tesla, I think is what you go to it and you download it. But the broker
Tesla.com.
themselves have to tell you where to find the car on your app.
Interesting.
So some of them have it under a certain name, so you have to click underneath that. They're going to give you your username and password too, by the way.
Hmm.
And it's the same thing. Like I'm not sure if each broker has their own username and password for each one. I kind of think they do because the
Hmm.
last one we did, he said to look for SDM on it instead of normal stuff. So always
Hmm.
ask if they tell you to use it, make sure you get the username and password for your driver. And it's really difficult, so make sure you get the, the person's texting number so when they can't figure out how to use it, you can say, contact this guy and he'll walk you through it because they are difficult. And I would say everybody would agree that everybody hates Tesla mobile app.
Well, great. Put it on the
Yeah.
list.
Yes, add it to it. All right, what you got?
Well, I
ACV?
just want to say this before we go any further. I'm looking at the views and I'm looking at the likes and I'm seeing a disparity. So please do reach out. You don't even have to go very far. Just kind of smack your hand somewhere on the screen and hit that like button for me,
Okay.
please. Give it a smash. All right. I saw this too. I found. Oh, you sent me this, right?
Uh, well, I didn't send you this. I sent you an email, or maybe it was an email, or maybe I just sent you an email from myself getting a call from ACV about it. Um, and now I didn't have that, so I'm not sure who that is. But I will tell you that I got a call complaining to us about canceling a load that we had taken, and I canceled right away because all my other loads had fallen through. So a month later, I got a call from them, kind of chewing my ass out. And I'm like, well, what would you rather us do? That's why you have a cancel button. You know what I mean? And if you cancel after
Right.
24 hours, you can't cancel with the cancel button. You have to call in.
So that's okay. So that's what's interesting. This intense math
Mm-hmm.
has
This,
been
they're getting the
done
score. Yeah.
based on an incorrect transaction.
I don't know. I don't know who this is from.
Yeah. Well, but you were saying, as you were saying, you were
Basically.
NA, like, what was it, a late cancellation or what?
Well, no, I canceled right away within the first 2 to 3 hours,
So
and I
what's the
got called.
problem?
Well, because I should have called in instead, but that's why they have a cancel button. And then she said,
No
she
way.
goes, if you want to cancel after 24 hours, use the cancel button, but you can't use the cancel button after 24 hours unless they changed it because you got to call in and cancel if it's after 24 hours. And their biggest thing is when they called in to chew us out was that why are you only taking, one load here, one load there? And as we explained to them,
Oh no,
most of
not
your
that.
loads are up in New
No.
Jersey and New York. We are a
Okay.
central
Yeah.
company, so we can only haul loads when you show them
All
on
right.
there for us,
I want to I want to say for the record that this notion that
Mhm.
once you get signed up with a broker or any, whatever it is,
Right.
and that you don't move enough loads often
Yes.
enough is
Yes.
total
Stupid.
stupid crapola.
Yes.
And if you think the world works that way, you're in the wrong business.
Absolutely.
Because that is.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, you know what
No,
I'm saying?
it does. It's this is,
And
and you know what that is? That's that corporate cubicle mentality.
Probably.
That you're
yes.
just like, now you work for us. You work for us. No,
Well,
not at all.
It's not the first time I've been told that from
I
this
know.
company
I've heard this,
repeatedly over and over again.
That
And I'm just
makes
like,
me lose my mind. Actually,
yeah, have more loads in the Midwest. But either way,
so
either way, you only have like right now, I think there's like 500, 600 loads on your load board. How am I supposed to haul for you on a regular basis?
Totally. What am I supposed to just pick up crapola because your cubicle mind can't handle logistics? No, it's ridiculous. And what really bothers me is those same people will be like, yeah, we love the carrier. We love the. And then you're not picking up enough for us. And just stop.
Yeah.
Get out of this freaking industry, please. Or hire somebody else. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Just do something different and call me because I want to set you straight. Yeah.
I should have said something like, "Are you the biggest load board or something?"
That's literally why we have this show, because I'm unhireable because I keep saying the truth all the time. Okay, let's keep going. Let's roll the video. Yeah, here we go. And Ross, hang on, Ross. Ross Quinn will be up here in about 10 minutes. So hang on, Ross. All right, let's see what we got. Rolling the video.
This guy really finna leave with this damn Jeep on the top. Nothing else on the back. I try to ask him how far he going. And is he sure he wanna leave that up there? He said he don't speak English.
Dangerous because it's only vehicles on the top.
So,
and it's just like we were talking about.
He make it to his destination safely.
It's like
that is super dangerous.
Is he loading more though? We don't know, right?
We don't know. You're right. We don't know. But the guy tried to help him out and say
tell
something.
Him not to put it up there.
Yeah. And I really like the way this guy. I'm gonna play it again. I like the way this guy talks. It's awesome.
Oh, see, I can't hear anything. So.
Oh, you can't? Oh.
Can anybody else hear anything?
Well. Yeah, the audience can hear it. Okay, you know what?
You just blocked me. All right. Fine.
Oh, okay, here we go. All right, here we go. You got to listen to the way this guy. Here we go.
Okay.
This guy really finna leave with this damn Jeep on the top. Nothing else on the back. I try to ask him how far he going. And is he sure he wanna leave that up there? He said he don't speak English.
Oh.
So all I can do is hope that he make it to his destination safely. Yeah. That is super dangerous.
The only good part about that is it is a tiny Jeep. It might be lightweight enough. It won't flip him.
He'll probably be okay. But one day he's going to have the Hummer on that curvy ramp. And,
truck. And he's
game over.
Yeah.
Here's another really...
Nice that the guy was willing to go try to help him.
Oh, that guy was super cool. I really like that guy. This is a weird video.
Okay.
Here we go.
ولا الدكتور صدق العليم ما صدقش ما عجبنيش
لا ده مين راح؟
والله
راح فين ده؟
انا شرفني
ما هو اللي حسيته بالذنب
ما انا قايله من بدري الصبح قايله
ما هو خلاص
شرطي.
Okay.
What
was that?
Can you see what's on the screen there?
It's TCI Logistics is what it says. Current bid, ADL Logistics. I don't know. These are bidding on a vehicle.
Yeah. And look, Acertus has the highest number.
So these are brokers bidding on a vehicle.
I mean, is he on U-Ship? Let's watch this again.
Yeah,
and where is this guy?
What is
Florida? This? I know, this is so weird. Yeah, you're right. He's in Florida.
ما عجبنيش
I think you're right. I think it might be U-Ship.
راح فين ده؟
انا شرفني
ما هو اللي حسيته بالذنب
ما انا قايله من بدري الصبح قايله
ما هو خلاص
شرطي.
I think it's U-Ship too, but who sent it to you? These people?
No, I can't remember where I got this.
That's crazy.
I know, it's just a really weird video. Send in the news, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I mean, this is like the back of the steam tunnels of like brokering or something. I don't know what this is. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad we're here to, I don't know, find the crazy stuff. Send it in. It's Auto Transport. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Come on, Sue.
OMG.
And that's the guy that doesn't even pay the broker fee. Am I right?
Yeah. Wouldn't a broker love to see that with their car? Oh my God.
He pulls up to the
I guess it's
dealership.
chained
I
to
got
that.
it. I got it.
So does it come off when he lifts the dump truck up?
It's all good, yo. Who's got the ramps? You got one of them winchers? Okay.
It's gotta be a Copart
Alright.
car. What do you bet?
But at least he's not this guy, the bridge guy. Look, and the bridge, it says right here. Hey, watch out. It's 14.5.
14.5.
I got this. I got this.
Oh my
It's
God.
terrible.
So he took out
Holy
the very
crap.
first one. The second one the last one would have got hit too, right? Or is that low enough? The first one that got hit was a mini one. It's like the Chevy Express or the whatever they are. You see how the
Right.
little ones are in the bottom?
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. He
I
thought
think
he
that back
thought he
one
was
gonna get
well.
taken
You know,
out,
this
too.
is where a height stick.
Yes, absolutely, brother.
I mean, just carry a height stick, man.
yes,
Ditch the
absolutely.
ditch the Swiffer wet jet.
Yes.
That thing ain't working. Hey, don't be that broker. I don't even know what this is. I just thought it was funny. But okay, Zeb has been hammered. This is why we read the waiver in the beginning. Zeb has been hammering on. He's posting this stuff on LinkedIn.
Oh wow.
I know, man. There ain't no other way to read this. I think he even linked it to the website. I don't know. And then he's whacking FMCSA. He's whacking other big companies. He's talking about scamming. He's calling out scam brokers. My gosh. I'm not even going to read the company names. I'm just going to leave it there for a second.
GC Solutions is working with a ring of other scammers.
Isn't that crazy?
Bam, gone.
Are they involved in, is this where
I
you get
don't
the,
know. Yeah,
the
like the stealing
passwords?
of the cars.
I don't
and
know.
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not reading it, but he posted it on LinkedIn, and that makes it public information. Hey, leave me a like again. I just got like 5 likes because I said something. If you haven't left a like, please do it. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate you tuning in and saying hello and, whatever. But this is, you see that this is important, right? This is a crazy industry, and we're just trying to help people see the error of their ways. Okay.
Gray surety be a
I
ton
know.
of claims. Wow.
Right? Okay.
Who is in gray surety?
I don't know. So then he starts going into his cost per mile, and we got another one. Ding! Thank you so much. And I mean, he really goes into the breakdown. I'd love to get Zeb on the show sometime. Anything.
Yeah.
Because he really understands it. In fact, his thinking is so detailed, it gets pretty complicated quickly. But what he's pointing out is, and Ty got a call last week from a guy talked to a guy that bought a truck through a driver in the truck, and that was pretty much the extent of his business model. And Ty's like, dude, you're going to be out of business in 6 months. You don't know, and you haven't ran any of these numbers. You don't know your customer. Anyways, this is really great stuff, and then and then we always getting into business. Man, call Ty, dude. The moment you have the idea, is the moment you call or text Ty 417-483-2764. He will help you. And you can post it on Facebook. Hey, everybody! I have all these great ideas. Or call or text Ty. It's up to you. You do what you want. This is Auto Transport. Hey, here's another one on Hotshot Trucking. This seems to be like the Facebook page that I keep seeing now. This is Sue, what is this guy selling?
Look no further.
Or gal.
So obviously they're a dispatch company is what
There
I'm
you
taking
go.
it as.
Okay, dispatch company. And what's kind of their sales pitch here?
Apparently hotshot trucking, 3 cars. But I think they're throwing this $5,000 to $6,000 a week. So there's no guarantees in this business. So
Right,
don't-
exactly.
You know what I mean?
So there's your first problem.
Don't let downtime slow you down. Partner with blank and keep your hotshot.
Dude, I love this. Lucrative rates.
Yeah.
What do you mean lucrative
Consistent
rates?
assignments.
What, because you're the dispatcher?
Yeah.
You only find lucrative rates?
Well,
I
don't we all
can't
want
wait
that?
I want to listen to that phone call in 3 months. You
Yeah.
said lucrative rates, man,
Yeah.
you maggot.
Yeah. Yeah. Transparent partnership. Do they speak
Transparent.
English?
I mean, I don't mind some of the other professional, transparent, but lucrative rates. That one I love. That's
Well, see, and here's my problem.
it
There's,
was the
like we always
perfect
talk
call.
about,
Huge
is
deal.
there's
Huge deal.
dispatchers just coming out of the woodwork, right?
What they're everywhere.
Yes. But
Here's-
and I deal with them every single day, dispatching for companies for and I'm brokering to them. They don't ever answer the phones to tell us if the people have picked up or delivered. And now that we can do the transactional ratings, that stuff's going on there. If you don't tell me where, like I had to threaten someone the other day again. Do I have to call the police and have my car reported stolen? You know what? They
Right.
never even picked up the damn car and told us
Well,
they had.
I literally 45 minutes ago we connected to get ready for the show, and Jen is making her round of
Calls,
you need
yeah.
to pay us our broker fee calls.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
how many? But here's the thing: when you're desperate, it's really hard to do the right thing.
Right.
Meaning, when you're desperate and short on time, writing a $50 check and sending it or whatever, Venmo, whatever, $50 is tight when you're desperate, which gets back to the misunderstanding of why you're not hauling for us enough and all this stuff. I don't know how many people we have to squeeze to death in logistics. Here's one. I need a Louisiana dispatcher.
Why just Louisiana? I only need help with loads in Louisiana.
Okay, that's fine.
Well,
But the
then-
guy says, okay, well, listen, I'm in Alabama. I can help. No. You need to be in Louisiana.
Yeah, only Louisiana. That makes no
It's so
sense.
funny. And by the way, how much money are we going to be making if you don't leave Louisiana?
You might as well get a tow truck.
Right? I say call Ty. Call or text Ty. You don't need a Louisiana dispatcher. You need to call or text Ty. 417-483-2764. I promise you're going to be happier that way. I only need help with Louisiana. Oh my God, that is so funny. I was thinking of Forrest Gump. Greenbow, Alabama. All right, I'm having too much fun. I got to drink some ELD punch. I need to calm down. Do me a favor. Right after this, we're going to be back with Ross Quinn of Super Dispatch.
Okay,
We'll
Deb.
be right back after this. Okay, cool.
I'm Kevin Prada. I'm, president of JP Auto Transport, I'm here to impose my will. I'm here to win business. I'm at NADA. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to make friendships. I'm going to make relationships. And I'm going to pick up some $1 million contracts here. This is how it's done. Have I ever came here and picked up $1 million contracts before? No, but today's a good start. We got a transport company, so we're asset-based. We own semi-trucks, and we deliver vehicles for dealerships. We're all typically new and used, so we transport vehicles. We transport vehicles, we transport trucks. Yeah, right now, we work nationwide, but like I said, we specialize West Coast, Southwest. On the West Coast, Southwest region. Wherever the customer needs us to go, that's where we go. We have our own fleet of trucks, we got our own drivers. We also use Super Dispatch, so everything, all our transports run through Super Dispatch. All our drivers are GPS tracked. I mean, you understand how it works. You use Super Dispatch.
Yes,
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Can I take one of your cards, Ron? Yes, sir. Can I take a card? You got a card, Scott? Can I leave my card with you? This is my information. Okay. If you want to take in, that's actually, so what you're mentioning, we work with a lot of companies that are selling online, right? I don't know if people still use cards, but I do.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
All right, welcome back to ATI Auto Business, second half of the Dispatching Live show. Ross Quinn from Super Dispatch is going to be up here shortly. Also, Murphy Auto Transport Services wants to help you if you are looking for dispatch, or in fact, there was a carrier packets question, and I'm going to share a link here. Let's see. Not only the Murphy Auto Transport, but Sue. If somebody wants a carrier packet, did we say they can text you at a 416?
Yeah, you can text me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put Sue's text line. Being able to tap into Ty and Sue to text them and ask for information, keep that information handy. Carrier packets, Sue. Business advice, Ty. Now, here, first time ever, I think, live on ATI, Ross Quinn, Super Dispatch. Hey, Ross.
Hey. How are
How's it
y'all?
going?
Fine. How are you?
What's new?
Not a lot. Just hanging out, ready to talk shop with you guys. I don't get to check into the Thursday shows often, so this is cool to be a part of.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're happy you're here, and we know that there's different things that you want to talk about. Just stepping back for a second. All right, Super Dispatch, mobile app, TMS, Super Loadboard, Super Pay, vetted carriers. It's really grown.
Yeah. I mean,
Tell me more. Yeah.
Since the start in 2015, we only worked with drivers, and that's kind of been stuck in everyone's heads. Just that seed that got planted. I think we still talk to a lot of people that show up on our doorstep today that are like, oh, y'all are the driver app. And I think that's really started to change over the last 2 years. And yeah, we have the solution that helps you complete and manage the transport when it comes to the vehicle side from end to end. A driver using the app, yes, and they love it, to brokers and shippers utilizing that shipper TMS on their side to get the loads in place, get them on a board, or get them directly sent to a driver that they want to work with.
That's right. And that in a nutshell, that's it, because it was thought of initially carrier technology to pick up and deliver a load. It's much more than that now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a marketplace where really anyone in the industry, this is what's fun. Like Ty and I will be at trade shows, we'll talk to somebody, hey, have you checked out Super Dispatch? Oh, well, I mean, our carriers use the mobile app or whatever. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, okay, let's do it this way. You ever have trouble getting a load moved? No. No trouble at all. Nah. Okay. Hey, you guys know anybody? Yeah, so okay, the answer was yes. You're having trouble getting a load moved. So where are you going to post your loads? Oh, well, we have this one place we always go. All right, that's it? You don't have anything else you're trying? Nah. All right. Well, have you tried Super Dispatch? Oh, okay, yeah, that carrier mobile app? No, that's not what we're talking about. And this goes on and on. So it's really, there's a lot of education, awareness, and outreach going on. And that's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we looked into that, though. I mean, aside from us trying to establish and let people know that we have tools that allow brokers to move thousands and thousands of vehicles each month, that mobile app is like the cornerstone for what Super Dispatch is built on today. Like, if it wasn't easy for a driver to use, because we know it doesn't work when you try and shove apps down a driver's throat. Like, that's not going to happen. Right. They happened onto the Super Dispatch app. They told all their friends who drive about the Super Dispatch app to build their business on it, to manage their business on it. And they've stayed because we continue to put a lot of value into it for them. And since then, that's when we built out the shipper TMS, we built out the marketplace and load board. And it really is kind of hitting this, growth stage where there's more consistent loads on the load board. There's more carriers getting loads and business off of it, aside from just managing orders that they may import from elsewhere or create on their own to keep everything in one place.
When we think in political terms, we think of grassroots movements. And grassroots movements happen because the people have decided there's something they prefer. And we know that many carriers prefer to use Super Dispatch. But when they haul the load for whoever's load it is, whoever's got that customer, they're not allowed to use the mobile app. They got to use some other prescribed thing. And this is where we're calling upon the grassroots movement folks. If you love the mobile app, help make sure that the customer is using Super Dispatch so you can continue to use that mobile app. That's where your involvement, not only do you prefer this app, but if you do prefer it, speak up about it. Because just because you prefer the app, if Joe Blow wants you to use, like the Tesla mobile app, they don't care if you prefer some other mobile app. They would need you to use that app.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the war of the apps. This is the problem.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And I talk to a lot of different companies on the shipper TMS side. So, thinking just about brokers, we are having more conversations where they want to be, agnostic. They don't want to now have to force their drivers to have to use an app that they're not going to use anyways, but they want to get updates in real time. So how can we partner with more people? How can we become more connected to brokers through that side of the platform so they can, get orders, systematically sent over to the driver and get updates back in an automated way. So we're getting to that conversation more and more today. It has taken 8+ years. So excited to have those conversations, but it is step by step. It doesn't happen all at once.
So can I ask a question?
Please.
Yes.
So like we can track our drivers on Super Dispatch. So can the brokers do the same thing, or will they be allowed to do the same thing? That's what they want, right? They want to know where our drivers are at. So is that a possibility? Not that my drivers want to know where, you know what I mean? But is that a possibility for the future to help you with the broker situation of it all?
If there's a broker today using the shipper TMS and they have an advanced inspection, it's going to require those drivers to have their location services turned on.
Okay.
Now, take that, with a grain of salt. Any app you download today, it's gonna, and it asks for your location services. It'll have 3 questions. Hey, can we track your services at all times? Only this one time that you're on the app and nothing else. Or whenever you have it open. So we do nudge the drivers that use the mobile app, and we have a kind of a landing page on the app when they open it to walk them in a 3-step process on getting that turned on at all times.
Okay.
They can ignore it. Hey, I just need to go see the load. I need to know where to go. And they go past it. And the next screen where they see all of their orders they've been assigned, there will be a banner that says, tap this button to activate your location services. If they ignore that, they go into the app, they find out where they need to go, they start heading that direction at pickup.
Gotcha.
And they open it up. When they hit start up that pickup inspection button, it's going to require them at the very least to have that turned on, or they're not going to be able to get to the next step.
Gotcha.
They'll get that far, and then it's going to be like, okay, the buck stops here. So we at least want that geo tag on the photo. We want the timestamp on the photo that it is going to be at a minimum requirement for them until they can move to the next stage. But that's how it would work today. And about 70 to 75% of the drivers utilizing that app will have it turned on from what we've seen.
And I mean, my thought process is if you don't want to know, if you don't want them to know where you're at, then what the heck are you doing, right? This is, I mean, part of the business, and they should be where they're supposed to be. I've got a couple of my drivers that shut them off because they don't want me to know either. But that's the whole purpose of us too, so I can tell them when the broker calls and says, "Where's your driver?" I can go click and say, "Oh, he's 30 miles away from his drop." That's fantastic for us, and I would think it would be fantastic for a broker as well who wants to know those things. But 75 to 80%. I guess that's not too bad for most drivers to agree to it. because you know you got a lot of these rebels, shall we say? They're like, nobody's tracking me,
Yeah.
and we'll always have that, no matter
Yeah.
what we do. So,
It's a dance, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, we can give you the software and the tools and we can set up some requirements, but a lot of it does go back to how are you incentivizing that driver's behavior?
yeah,
And that can be through super pay. That can be through, you know, I don't know,
Right.
giving that driver a lucky load on your own without the load board's help. I don't know, you know, you could get creative, but
yeah,
it is going to be, you know, in part your work on your end too, to just make sure they meet requirements
Right.
that help you serve your customer in a better way.
So if we click like on the broker part for the inspection, if we click advanced, then that makes them have to do that.
The advanced inspection will require them to take a minimum of 6 photos. So
But it doesn't necessarily track them.
it may not track them, you know, through and through, but it will allow the services to be turned on at that pickup inspection and at that delivery inspection
Okay.
at a minimum. So that's
Okay.
what we'll at least get, unless, you know, they have it turned on at all times.
Right, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Those are good questions. Ross, did you have other topics or features that you wanted to hit upon?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is kind of to piggyback off, you know, how you can set expectations for the driver to do certain requirements. You know, they're not going to read anything on their paperwork, or at least half the time they won't, maybe.
Ding, ding, ding.
You think they would be really jumping to try and make this a delightful process. But, you know, it is tough. They do a lot on their end, driving, trying to read information, trying to get to the location on time. You know, traditionally they'll have people hassling them, not saying, you know, like, Sue, you would call the driver and hassle them to make sure you know where they're at all times. But
I texted I text like, okay, it says to park in this area or it does this. I'm like, because I know they don't read. So I go in there, even though it says it on there, I'll say, okay, don't forget that you got to give them an hour notice, or park on this side of the street because otherwise you're going to get a ticket and stuff like that. So yeah, I do all of that for all my drivers every single time.
yeah, and it is helpful. Also, it helps establish that relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get on a first name basis with anyone, you may not see them weekly, but if you can see them monthly and then connect that with one of your customers in that location, that's huge. What I was kind of getting at is like, still having that conversation with carriers and making sure they know what's required for them. We do provide all of our, you know, shipper TMS customers, those customers that are creating orders and maybe getting those out to the load board or sending them out to the carrier they want to work with. You know, we do provide, you know, a verification stamp. You know, verified carriers have to have a W-9 with their legal entity name. It's got to be signed and dated. I think typically that's within the last 2 years that it's signed and dated. They need to have a carrier authority that's authorized for them to move property, and then they need to upload their cargo certificate of insurance. And so at a bare minimum, this is what we're doing. I'll get carriers that call in and they're like, hey, what requirements do you have? You know, we're not trying to keep people off our platform. If they're in business, they have that insurance, they have that authority, they have that W-9. We want you to get opportunities, but there are going to be different shippers and brokers that have different set requirements. And so we, on our side at Super Dispatch, will verify those carriers, ask for those 3 documents, have our compliance team review it, and then we submit it to a third-party monitoring service where we're placed as a certificate holder, and we can kind of help you outside of anything else that you may do on your end for due diligence, help you with that side of it. I say that because it's important. You may have things that you have to do legally or you have to do to check out a box. You know, Sue, you mentioned you still go out and call the driver, though there may be something listed in certain examples. And you know, I think us having that verification is just that first level, that first peace of mind you have with Super Dispatch as that broker. I can pull that updated insurance document and see what equipment's on there, see what's listed. If I have an issue with it, I can call that insurance location's number because we actually have an up-to-date policy. So though you may still have a little bit of work on your end, you're not waiting an hour, 8 hours, a day to get an insurance certificate from that driver to get that carrier packet, though again, falling back on, you'd think they'd want to do business and get that to you quicker, but we do it quicker. We get it to you on the front end so you can kind of check those other boxes if you need to.
So if the insurance company, like they didn't pay their bill and they get shut off, you guys get notified right away and then pull them? Is that how this works?
However quickly, yeah, that insurance company notifies and sends out that policy change, we'll get notified by that third-party monitoring service we work with. So again, it'll change that verified tag to unverified. And once that's switched off, that carrier will not be able to request loads that are posted on the load board any longer.
And see, and I don't know if everybody realizes, but the big load board doesn't really do that. You have to make sure that they really have insurance because they don't pull them. The only time that they will shut off an account is when the insurance has expired and you've got 30 days to get the new one on. But I came across one today, exactly. I called to get his insurance cert, and the guy said they're no longer insured. And so I called him back, and I'm like, who are you insured through? And he said, Progressive. I said, I got to have that cert because it's not on the big load board, and got it right then. But see, right there was a prime example. There's not accurate information on the big load board, whereas you guys monitor it to make sure that we're not dealing with, how shall we say it, scumbags. So... you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. And I think at the very least, it shows that the carrier that's on our load board is intentional, right?
Yes,
like they intentionally have to provide that information at a bare minimum. So you at least know if they're trying to, if they provide poor service, they're at least, doing
you
this.
got all your documents. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, again, a heavy lift when you are working with hundreds, if not thousands of carriers throughout the year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally get it.
I think those are really good points. I like that word intentional. That's a good one because that is the thing, is that when there's, it's almost no standard. what are the 3 docs that you have to send in?
MC, cert, and W-9.
Okay. And which is fine. That shows you're in business. But it seems like we've gotten to the point where we want to know more than that you're just in business. We want to know that you have some other level of business.
Here's the other thing too.
Intention.
You guys don't allow transporters to go on your load board and list cars, whereas like we're dealing with something right now. There's a transporter that lists a car, wants their broker fee, threatening Jen on the other line right now to pay their broker fee, which she's going to pay, but that's beside the point. Like she said, you're not even a broker. And quit threatening me. Because technically I don't even have to pay you. And he's like, I'm going to give you a negative. Well, try. But like she said, she just paid him. Quit being an asshat. So, and he said that it's none of our business that he's not a broker. That's literally what he just told her. And that he's allowed to list on Central, which they say they're not allowed to list on there, but yet they still do.
Right.
So,
Interesting.
That way you don't have to worry about Super Dispatch. You never have to worry about that at all because they're all going to be brokers.
Which is interesting.
Dealerships kind of thing,
That's the opportunity here, is as this community grows with some sort of minimum of business understanding, we can really develop this into the kind of place where people would really rather do business.
Yes. And it's trustworthy.
And I want to say, since I already have the waiver, I just want to say, this is not about trying to get everybody to move somewhere.
No.
But everybody wants a better playground.
A safe
everybody
place.
knows this. Yeah. And
you don't have to worry about getting paid or not.
Jen should not have to dedicate part of her day to calling people and dealing with threats.
Right.
That's crazy. That's auto transport. You can do whatever you want, and people literally do.
Yeah.
And I love the year or decade that stops. Actually, I think that's what's called autonomous vehicle and trucking. But aside from that, means this industry still exists, by the way. I just want to be clear. I think if we get to the AI truck deal, then you still have somebody with the truck or a drone or whatever it is that's still associated with logistics. It's just a different version of what we have now.
Sure. I think we've seen those videos of the robot dancing and then it just then it just stops.
And then he does logistics. Yeah.
And then someone has to step in and do logistics for the robot. So maybe, yeah, there's always
manage. Somebody has to manage the AI and the robots.
Yep, exactly.
And that would be the dispatcher.
Yes.
Right.
Did we cover everything, or is there anything else? Because I really want to make sure. I mean, let's talk about the lucky load for a minute. What's going on with the lucky load?
Has anybody won it?
How do you win the lucky load? Tell us, what's going on with lucky load?
You just got to keep booking orders. You know, that's the name of the game. No, I don't know if anyone's won it yet. I don't think anyone has. So
is it once a month? Is that right?
Right. I think it's brand new, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be once a month. I think that message said up to 1,000. So I hope that just means it's like $9.99, like 99. So
but you have to be, and maybe I threw you a curveball here, but you have to be a verified carrier.
Yep.
Correct.
And you have to be using SuperPay.
Oh,
I believe
those are the two requirements.
I'm not sure what the stipulation is. So yeah, you may know more than me, but yeah, I think
well, there's a lot to know.
SuperPay.
At the very least, you have to be a verified carrier. Like that's without a doubt. You can't book it without doing that.
So all right. So I threw that curveball. What were there? Are there any other specifics you wanted to mention? Because the good news, there's a lot to talk about now.
Yeah, I think the cool thing, if we like stick to verified carriers and how you manage carriers as a broker, in the shipper TMS where you're creating your orders and getting requests from carriers that are out there and letting you know they're available. If you do have your own compliance process, if you do still require certain things that we don't require, like, I didn't mention that we don't require liability, insurance certificates. It's just the cargo today. There are things you can do to let the carrier know of other requirements. So in your profile in that shipper TMS account that you would use as a broker, you can go in and put your other requirements and have that visible to carriers on the load board. So if that's like a cargo minimum per unit, if that's just a flat minimum across the board, I've seen different brokers list 100,000 or 250, or they will go in and say 50,000 for one unit, 250,000 for 5+ units. Yep. So that's just a way to start the conversation and allow that carrier to know if they're qualified or not before even reaching out, before they just traditionally on the big board, hit the phone and start calling without even thinking. Yeah. So again, I think it goes back to that intentionality that we're trying to set for, you being the broker, trying to have that conversation through the load board first, so people kind of know how to work with you. That's at least the idea. We're still trying to make it, as seamless as possible, but we've started that and it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, I love it because it tells you like, here's the link to the contract, to go sign up or print or, who it needs to be sent to, or if they need pictures, that kind of thing. You can send it to this. Email.
What is that?
I love that stuff.
The broker profile page?
No, so it's when you go get a load here.
When
in
you
fact,
go get the load, okay.
It'll usually tell you exactly what they require from that. Like I'm looking at one right here, and it says cargo insurance minimum is 100,000, and then it says they must use the Super Dispatch BOL and include at least 6 photos at pickup and 6 photos at delivery and a VIN plate photo. Please be respectful of our client's time and stay within the time parameter in the contract. Payment terms are 2-day quick pay. Once we receive your bill of lading, we will mail your check out. And then it says, we love communication, so if you can provide ETA details in the system, that would be much appreciated. See, I love that stuff. Plus, you also give us their bond information, although I will say I've never had anybody not pay me on Super Dispatch, so I will say there are only good companies that are on there.
That's good to hear. Yeah, we do some vetting on the shipper side today too, the broker side today too. We're requiring W-9s, we're requiring insurance. Yeah, so we've got that in place and we're building that out, as we continue to grow. Again, it just kind of goes back to how can we create as much trust on both sides.
And I think rated too, so you can look at their percentages too to see, that kind of thing. And the other thing I like that you guys have on here, it tells you, if you look at their background, it tells you how many they're moving, how many they've moved in the last 6 months. So if they're like a bigger company and that they're going to have more loads on the load board. I guess is the way
Yeah.
you're looking at it.
Right. Are they new on our platform or are they not? And there's
Yeah.
a number for you to call too. I mean, you know, I've never been on the carrier side. I actually was on the freight brokerage side before I got to Super Dispatch. But, you know, as a carrier, you know, you may do as much, you know, due diligence on your end too. How long has this broker been in business? And then, like you said, Sue, like how many loads have you guys moved? Things like that. You know, there are always questions you can ask as a carrier to understand who you're doing business with.
Yeah, I love it. And you don't get a lot of that on the other load boards.
I was just saying, it's more like, it's like the difference between a marketplace and a swap meet.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
Craigslist or something like that.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing. Part of this is I want everybody to raise the bar. Not
Yeah.
just one company, not just two companies.
Everybody.
I want all companies to raise the bar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time. And I think that would also help some of the shippers start to cough up more money if they realized this was a business
Mm-hmm.
and not a swap meet.
Yeah. I agree.
There we go. All right, cool. I want everybody, you know, to do better, be better, build better. What does she say? Build back better? I don't know. How
That's
did
a good.
Melania get in here? I don't know, but you know, build back better. I think it was. Okay, so we have that. Where are we at? Should we let you go? Have we taken enough of your time?
I think that's a good place to start.
Good
I don't want to
spot.
overwhelm
Yeah,
anybody,
exactly.
but yeah, let me back on the show whenever you guys, you know,
Okay.
have the time for me. I'll be happy to talk shop and
Sweet.
yeah, dive into
Yeah.
it a little bit more. You guys have been so great today. Thank you very much for the conversation.
Yeah. So, all right, on that. So here, take some notes. Watch the
Okay.
video back. Take some notes. Think about what we didn't talk about, and we'd love to have you back.
That sounds
So,
good.
Ross Quinn, Super Dispatch. Thanks so much, Ross.
Bye, Sue.
All right. Take
Bye,
care.
Jay.
All right, see you, man. Okay, so, all right, we're at 1:15. Gosh, I thought this was a 60. You know, we might get back to 90 minutes if we start having guests again,
We might, yeah.
which is pretty neat. That was actually.
I like having guests because it gives us
That was
something
cool.
else to talk about, and you get a different perspective,
I
and you know,
That was a lot of great information. He really he did a bang up job.
yeah.
It was awesome. Let's go back into some news. We've got Rob said great series on the car hauler dispatcher training. Can't believe it's 4 years old and so good. Amber's tuning into the Super Loadboard show. That thing's at 1,000 views now.
Really?
I know, right? Crazy.
That's awesome.
I know, it's really cool. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, let me move this thing. So, yeah. Okay, so without naming any names, did you say you tried for 40 minutes to get a load?
Yeah, and it wasn't them that's the problem. It was the broker. It's not Super Loadboard because you
Yeah.
linked
It's
out
not the
company
load board, it
name,
was
right?
the broker.
They were,
Yeah.
they wouldn't answer me for 40 minutes. Then I had to call
Wow.
them and then I was told it had to be picked up tomorrow, which is, I told him we requested. Then he told me I had to contact the customer. And then the load literally disappeared off the board, and then all of a sudden
Wow.
he said it was been canceled. So how does that happen?
Well,
right?
here's the good news. Because we know the owners of the load board, maybe we can find a way. And that's part of my point here is the hope
Don't
is if
listen.
somebody makes a mistake, can
Yeah.
we knock, is there a door we can knock on and have a conversation? Hey man, you know, you effed up this one. You don't need to keep effing them up. We have actually a way to communicate.
Well,
Where-
true. And here's
right?
my thing is like, this happens on the big load board on a regular basis.
Exactly. And there's no door to knock on.
Right.
Nobody
Don't list
cares.
a car if it's not ready, right? Or because he said it wasn't paid for, but then all of a sudden it was canceled. Well, that's because they didn't get paid for it. So it shouldn't
Right.
have ever been put on the load board,
No.
period.
There was
And that's what happens all the time on the
Yeah.
big load board, and that's why we all get so upset.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, if it's
Exactly.
not real, don't post it. Don't get
Yeah,
our hopes
man.
up. Don't ignore us.
Yeah, don't do that. Come
on.
on, man. 925, yeah, he needed the text. Can you share some carrier packets? I told him to tune in.
That brokers will accept new carriers. Well, here's the thing though.
Okay.
These brokers keep changing their freaking things constantly.
Yeah.
I've noticed over the last 6 months, it's getting worse. Like they're making it 6 months now. For a lot
Why?
of
What's the
them.
thinking there? Are there
I'm
too
not
many
really
carriers?
sure. I'm not sure. Do you think I don't think it's too many carriers. Do you think they're just being more careful? I don't know. Maybe they got more claims. I don't,
Right.
because I mean, we've had,
Well,
what
when
was it,
you
3 or 4 of them just in the last week or so saying they're waiting 6 months. And it had never been that way before.
I mean, I could see a company. Here's the thing: because of all the craziness and the flips of the week, I could
Right.
see like having some minimum. But
Right.
the minimums are funny, like 20 positive ratings on the load board. Well, that could mean, I mean, you can go to Facebook and get 10. Anyways, I just think that some of the barriers to entry. And so there's confusion, which leads to, all right, we're just going to close the gate. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what to do. When looking up for a transporter that has hauled for us, we can no longer find the rating. Are you saying this something's changed now and it's gotten
No, well, it's
harder?
been, yeah, okay. So since they changed the new transactional rating thing,
Okay.
so when anybody gives you a rating or you give them a rating, we used to get an email saying, okay, you just received a rating, so you would know if you got a negative, or you would literally get a thing saying you just received a negative, or you just received, whatever. You no longer get any of that. So as a transporter broker, that sucks because you don't even know. And remember what me saying about the fact that when we started giving negatives, they were going to do the same thing back, and now there's no control of it. That's exactly what's happening. I've already gotten 2, which are all lies because they got a negative because they stole the money or didn't show up or, that kind of thing. So I said that was going to happen. So here's what does the ratings mean anything, right? They don't mean anything. That's number one.
This is what I found interesting is...
That's what they sent me back, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're saying you have to use the software we prefer, that otherwise it doesn't work right. Now, we are working on a future update to include vehicles dispatched outside of these platforms.
Yeah.
But there's... I don't know. There's
doesn't
so
work.
much favoritism. It's almost... I feel like this kind of talk justifies our show. Because everybody's playing super favorites.
Yeah.
And so that's what this industry's become, is everybody's playing favorites. That's how this shipper... Yeah.
And
Take
here
it
and
away.
then and here's the thing, this is my biggest problem as a broker. When I go to look up a company to see whether I want them to haul for me or not, it does not tell me if they've hauled for me before unless I go and see if I've given them a positive. But say, for example, they have hauled for me, they sucked. I didn't give them a negative just because I just didn't, because I don't usually do that. If they pay late, I just don't use them again, right? So you won't know that though, because you're going to have to go through rating after rating. It doesn't even have a search bar on the rating thing to find that person. You literally have to go through every single rating you just gave over since February to see what you gave them as a rating, because there's no other way to figure it out.
So, and as a carrier, now you have to read lengthy emails to understand the new process.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having a hard time. I tried to go through this and underline, and even I had a hard time absorbing 100% of this email.
And it doesn't do what it's saying about the pending tab. Because I was in the pending tab and I couldn't find these idiots. So, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, yeah, and if you can't find it, I don't know. Let's go to Safety Blitz. There's a
that's this
Safety
week.
Blitz
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. I've got a driver taking off because he doesn't want to deal with the brakes.
And that's what's so funny. Oh man, exactly. So like you hear ELD's coming, I'm gonna retire.
Yeah.
You hear Safety Blitz is coming, I'm going on vacation. I mean that's the industry. It's really, and meanwhile, so you've got this guy's gonna take off these days, but we're gonna send him a 2-page email explaining in triplicate. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for tuning in for more Super Loadboard. Don't forget, you go to Super Dispatch. I'm gonna share the link again. Here's what you do: sign up with Super Dispatch. Go to try.superdispatch.com/ATI, and then you can establish, if you're a broker, if you're a carrier. Ooh, let's see. Fokker80 says, Super seems I'm be getting more and more cars added to the load board, but most don't pay worth a crap. He doesn't like the rates. So he sees, chime in, Sue, because I'm not looking. I mean, you're the one on there.
Of course, you're always going to have some crap on there. I don't think it's not like they're monitoring the rates, and I don't think they can. This is still, whoever's business is their business. If they're going to list it for cheap, they're going to list it for cheap. I mean, I will say this. You see more low stuff on the big load board than you'll ever see on the super load board. I mean, look right there.
I
you can see
agree
what
with
the
you.
rates are right there.
And so my
70,
feedback is that's why Fokker. What I want to know is I appreciate that. Thank you very much for tuning in, saying hello, sharing that information. Now I'm going to ask you for a favor. Screenshot the crap loads that you think are obvious crap, and then share some numbers of what makes that a crap load. And rather than loading you up with homework, send me an email, and you're welcome to come on by video, by audio, and talk about how you see those crappy loads versus what's required to run a business.
Right. And like Ross said, too, you can filter out, too. Same thing. You can put a minimum amount.
Yeah,
and
filters. Those filters are awesome. Yeah, and instead of doing all that, Fokker, just use the filter. But I say these things because everybody is invited. We're now, 6 or 7 years into this thing, and I know there are businesses that have things to share, but they're still not ready for prime time. And that's okay. But send us the info and we'll share it. Because we really do. I, personally, since I don't even work here, I just found a camera and a microphone and, I understand how, tough this industry is that I want shippers to pay more money. That's what I want. Yeah. I want shippers to cough up the money. These are cars, man. It's not Uber Eats. It's not overnight Amazon. You love your car. You talk about it at parties. Shoot, some of your relationships are based on this vehicle. So spend the money when you ship it, man. Okay? Thank you. All right. Please do join us tomorrow, Friday, Understanding the Ecosystem on Cars on the Move. We're going to have Michelle of Ship Your Car Now and Nick Zulovich of Cherokee Media. Hey, if you missed Ship.Car's Dispatcher Solutions, check this show out. This is cool. And this is what I'm saying. I want all businesses to do better and share it on ATI. We're the neutral zone. You don't have another one.
Right.
We are it. So leverage ATI. In fact, next Tuesday night, we have Auto Hauler Exchange coming on center stage. The shipper carrier B2B marketplace. It's different. You're going to learn about it. You want to tune in Tuesday night to the Auto Hauler Exchange show on ATI. In fact, I'm going to share the link. Let me grab that link here. And we're almost done. I do appreciate everybody sticking around. Where is... Oh, I don't have the link ready yet. Oh, dang it. So many links in so little time. Listen, everybody, thank you. Oh, I think some shippers do pay good money. True. Such a good point, Fokker. Is that... By the way, is that you're right. I screwed up. The shipper could be paying enough money and the broker's keeping half.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. We don't know most of the time how much they pay, for sure.
That's why this is such a tough mountain to climb.
Yeah.
And that's why Jen is on the phone. Getting people to do the right thing, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Every day.
Every freaking day.
Yep.
We'll have content forever, so that's the good news.
Yeah. That's true. For sure.
So that is for sure. All right, I want to thank everybody. Thank you again. Oh, thank you. I said thank you, gay again. Okay. Wonderful. Too much Bud Light. Okay. I want to thank Ross Quinn of Super Dispatch. I want to thank everybody in the live chat for saying hello, tuning in. Sue, thank you so much for everything you do. And another great show. If you didn't leave a like, please do leave one. Please share. Tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI Dispatching Live. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad we were able to do this show today.
Yeah.
And I think, I want to say, I'm looking ahead at the calendar. Let me just take a look before I let you go here. Yeah, next Thursday, Ship.Cars is actually going to be on the show.
Okay.
Ship.Cars is our special guest next Thursday on Dispatching Live, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So, and then otherwise, yeah, Tuesday night, Auto Hauler Exchange. Any questions, let me know. We hope to see you there. Thanks, everybody, so much for joining us in this community experience on Thursdays. What do we say, office?
What do you say, everybody? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. All right,
see
yeah.
you guys.
Hey,
Take
take
care,
care. Thank you
everybody.
so much. All right, see you. Bye.